love to follow order in any organization.
Yes,
so there was going to be a training. That training, about almost 5,000 people applied, but they needed 100. So when it came to me, they saw my CV. They said, anyone come member one you with all these things that he has, why must he come to this church? They saw me as being tough and stuff like that. And stand my ground. They sent, I think, higher killer
to come and eliminate you. When we heard that story, we were shocked.
Sir, that is the truth. God sees me. The money you are paying me is £400 in a month. I've never had, even my last baby, she was 29. She spent even more than £400. I raised up my hand to heaven. They said, who am I competing with here? That is better for you to leave and go back to where you are coming from. They don't want you here. To me, I'm saying it clearly. Let it be broadcasted or broadcast, whatever. They will abuse the GO. I even pity the man. Sir, I fall down like a pack of cards. So the extent that the members told me that I should please go back. I should not kill myself here. They attacked me. If I start a church back in England today, I'll grow. But I'm not, I will never go back to Forward Church. I will never. See, there are some churches, the kind of prayer they think they are God. The kind of prayer they pray shows the type of members that attend that church. When your staff begin to abuse you, there's a problem. When your staff begin to insult you, the accountant is a thief, he's a rogue. His pastor is more. Sir, they mess the whole thing up. To be candid, sir, to be honest with you, I don't know how you want to take this. Dr. Olukoya is not a money conscious person. Those guys, they should be arrested and locked up. But they believe they can phone one Baba at Malaysia, one Baba at malaria, that will help them to pray. And they will be doing bad things, bad stuff, and they will say, Adra Lomaje. What kind of nonsense Adra is that? I don't know whosoever. In that area, I know, they conspire against Dr. Olukoya himself. The man doesn't even touch their money when it comes to, that's the only thing that I know, that I'm saying. But this guy, I don't know if their general overseer make a law, a rule, they will bend it. These guys, I don't know. They are the one who own MFM. It's not Dr. Olukoya who owns it. See, when it comes to a word, yes, a Bible study, they so did it to the extent that such things should not be happening. But everything is not about deliverance. That you see fly is demon. You see somebody fat. You say some demon has brought atomic bomb. Why do you think I want to work with any general overseer? I saw so many general overseer there. But I decided to work with him to be honest and candid. He has not done me any evil. Mr. Sabe, I saw with my eyes. I will never, because of judgment day, I will never. I saw with my eyes what happened. I saw with my eyes the way they treated this man. I saw. Sir, I saw. They are thieves. He's not the one who stole the money. I saw. I was the one who tried to even help them with this charity commission thing with my friend. Sir, MFM wouldn't have gone into this thing if Dr. Olukoya was strict.
yes, before we go to just and grand, really, because some people say we should ask you that what are the environment power, especially. I saw a book at the Glendora sometimes ago talking about the grant and how the real estate and the grant has killed a lot of people. And I said I'm going to ask you a question related to that. And the people said we should go ask you, but I want you to quickly go into this before we go there, because that's a very important one. A lot of people said we should ask you, because talking about pastoring pastor, I mean, they said some years ago you have been a pastor, you managed a pastor a Nigerian church, MFM, and you did well in London. You were able to raise one of the biggest branch, and you did a lot of things. But some people felt that you were pushed out unjustly, you were humiliated, you were psychologically traumatized, and all that. And people want you to share this experience, because you see, if you don't share it, you are not helping Christendom, and you are not also helping religion. I mean, in the 14th, 15th century, people like Martin Luther came out to share their own experience, and there was a kind of what can I call it, transformation for mostly the Christian of those, the old church, the Catholic, and today now we say there is kind of precedence. I mean, so that people can learn from that, you know. So it's good for reform and for you know, for the development of the spirit and the physical church. So sir, what really happened in those 10 years, and why were you put out, humiliated, traumatized, and is it one of the reasons why you made mention that you don't want to run a church again?
That's a very good question. I think you saw our church brochure that you helped me.
Yes, sir. The other
people, by God's grace, to God be the glory, people know me in London in the 80s and early 90s. Yes. Even though when we got about 5, 6, 7 years ago, when we came to Nigeria, my wife floated a school. The school is so big that I have to.
I think Bagada area, sir.
No. College Road.
Okay. That's Fagba.
Yes. Before you get to Fagba.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful side.
Ogba.
Yes, Ogba. Yes.
So now, and I left England with the church there. I handed it over. It's not my church, it's God's church. And I told them I'm moving to Nigeria, because I don't want to leave my wife alone. When it comes to dirty things, she's
sensitive. Highly sensitive.
Kuba. My wife has slapped a immigration officer at the airport
for being stupid.
You know, those years of showing your passport that you are not from this state and you are from this state. Why did you take it? Anyway, yes. It's a long story. I decided to follow her to give her support,
emotional and spiritual support.
Yes, and physical support too. So when I got to Nigeria, God is not leading me to start a church. We have the school hall that can contain 250 adults, fully AC. But you see, God told me something. He said, if you don't want me to be a spectator in your matter, if you don't want me to be a spectator, don't play football in the pitch where you don't have spectator by yourself. And I said, okay, meaning that, look, whatever I don't tell you to do, don't do it. So it took me time before I heard from God that I'm not being led to start a church in Nigeria. Despite the fact that there was a pressure, I said, this is your gift. When I was asking what other business can someone do to add to the school business, they say it's church. I said, church? How? With this your gift, oh my Jawo or something like that. I was sad. God is my witness. I was sad. I said, God forbid. I will never start a church because I want to be rich.
Or not Jawo.
Or to Jawo or something like that. So I was there. But eventually I found myself in this church. So we began. For almost 5 years, I did not have a pulpit to preach. I have to be based on itinerary work. people know me to invite me. But thank God, my source of income is not based on the church income. So we have source by which we feed ourselves, and God uses to maintain us. So I didn't feel it. Now, so eventually I found myself in this church.
That is mountain of fire miracle. Is it the spirit that led you there, or your wife led you there, sir?
My wife said we should be going to that place. Yes, based on what was happening around the school environment, that it was the type of prayer there and deliverance that we walk.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I love my wife, not because at the expense of sacrificing my ministry. And the general overseer knows me. So when I presented, I love to follow order.
Yes, sir.
In any organization.
Yes, sir.
So there was going to be a training. That training, about almost 5,000 people applied, but they needed 100. So when it came to me, they saw my CV. They said, with all these things that he has, why must he come to this church if he doesn't have hidden agenda?
Can you imagine?
Me, I don't have hidden agenda.
You didn't have any hidden agenda. You are just being honest.
Even though when I was there for 5 years, they didn't allow me to preach and do anything. I was looking. But eventually we got back to England, and I felt the general overseer, I felt a sense of commitment or something like that I can use my wealth of experience. Sir, if you saw the type of ridicule we went through, because when people see us in that church that has known us, we felt so embarrassed. We are popular.
In London before then?
To God be the glory. We are popular. We are almost household.
Like you are forced to a corner now.
We are almost household name. We are popular. I was on TV, I was everywhere. So I decided to lay that down because I haven't got any ulterior motive. So just to make impact.
But there was this mutual suspicion.
But what I got there, sir, may God help us.
Was it a spiritual attack or?
It's both. It's both, and most of the people that are in the leadership there are capitalizing on the popularity of the thing to make money.
Go.
You know, so they can sell anything, sellable oil or whatever. The popularity of the name of that organization so popular that those guys that were put in charge, they were spiritual armed robbers. But because the owner cannot put them check and balance, I don't know why. But anytime
Dr. Olukoya himself.
Anytime I want to put a restructure in place, hell will let loose. Anyway, to cut the long story short, because I promised myself, if you didn't ask me,
No, sir, yeah,
I promised myself I will never say it anyway.
People pressured us that we should ask you because a lot of people.
And God is my witness.
Yes, sir.
So let me tell you this: until those people are removed out of that system in Europe or England, I don't see that church going somewhere. I'm telling you the truth, because they are so entrenched in that evil. They took me to Scotland, and when I got to Scotland, I saw a mess. And I was trying to restructure it because nobody has audacity to be able to restructure it. But the guy that was in charge has to confront me. And I said, no, it is better you take me out of this place than looking at this thing as a mess. To cut the long story short, I live in what we call vicarage. Where the building is it's a factory area. Yes, factory area, and I was living inside that factory because of the work of God. And I was trying to do the work of God and help build the church. So because they saw me as being tough, and stuff like that. And stand my ground. They sent, I think, higher killer
to come and eliminate you.
To come and eliminate.
When we heard that story, we were shocked.
Sir, that is the truth. God sees me.
Fast. When we female in London, I mean,
but the day they were going, that thing was going to happen. I was on bed in the afternoon, and the Lord told me that I should lock that door very well in the night. There are 2 doors, and I said, if I lock that first one, the second one, I don't lock it. And the Holy Spirit said, lock it, bolt it up, middle and down. After you have locked the first one. So in the night, I even forgot because I'm not used to it. I woke up. I went to go and bolt it. If you make noise tomorrow, nobody will hear you because it's industrial. There are no residential. It's only me and God. As at 1:45, middle of the night, these people just came. They banged the first door. Bah, 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 bah. Open. We told you we don't want here. We've put our attitude, action, everything. You say you not go. We will kill you. Open the door. They shook the door like that. I said, who are you? They said, you don't have to know us. This and this and that. Open the door. I said, some idea just came to me. I pick up my phone. I say, yes, they are here, police. Yes, where are you? All of a sudden, they ran away. Watch this. Watch this now. So the matter went to the headquarters. So the guy that is in charge in Europe, because he's the Alpha and Omega, he called the shot. They went to go and lodge me at a hotel. The money you are paying me is £400 in a month. I've never had even my last baby. She was 29. She spent even more than £400. And but to be candid and fair with Dr. Olukoya, he ordered I was the first person that I should be paying 1,500 because I put my feet down. I said I'm not doing this because of money or something like that. But what will make me to go and steal, or what will make me to be more backward, I don't like it. He approved it. But those guys there, they put their feet down. Say it's not possible. And anyway, to cut the long story short, sir, they now put me in a hotel of £500 per week. And my money that I earn is £400. Why should I be living in a hotel for £500 per week? They said I should stay. I said I'm not staying though. Give the money to me now. I said let me go back there.
And I'll sort myself.
Yes, add the money to the money. I can't be living in one room hotel because there's aircon or something like that. Give me money. No, give the money to me. Let me go back to the place. I go back to the church. When I went back to the church, you know what they did? The building is massive. They broke, you know that type of door that is at the airport where you roll like that?
Yes,
it's a glass.
Yes.
They broke the whole glass. More than 1 mile. They shattered the whole thing. They break it. They stone it. My own room that is facing the main road, they will throw stone in the middle of the night. Eventually, the police came with helicopter.
You called the police, or the?
I called the police again. They came with.
So they came this second time to finish the job. They didn't finish that time.
I called the police. They came with helicopter. They want to airlift. They want to airlift me. Now, and I said, I'm not leaving this place. Either them or God. Something has to happen. I'm not leaving. They now call me. I raised up my hand to heaven. They said, who am I competing with here that is better for you to leave and go back to where you're coming from? They don't want you here. That was how I left. But there are too many deep things to be said.
No, sir, because is it the guy that is fighting? Is it Yoruba guy, evil guy, that pastor that was so powerful?
It's not powerful. It's just using his influence. He's the one that is in charge of the whole Europe, and they are the one who finished MFM now. To me, I'm saying it clearly. Let it be broadcasted or broadcast whatever. They will abuse the Geo. I even pity the man. Sir, being simple and something like see, there are some churches with anointing without excellence.
Anointing without excellence.
Without structure. There are some churches that will have boom and still booming now if they have a solid structure. But there's no structure, everybody is boss.
No structure.
No structure, everybody is boss. So I got to leave.
Apart from the physical assassination attempt, were there spiritual? You dream in the dream, or you are eating or something you discover maybe in the pot of soup?
I fall down like a pack of cards. So the extent that the members told me that I should please go back, I should not kill myself here. They attacked me.
Spiritually, even
spiritually, attacked my leg.
Jesus. Torí èrò àti ọ̀rọ̀ àti torí pé a fẹ́ kó ìjọ jọ, a fẹ́ kó èrò jọ, a fẹ́ pawó.
They attacked my leg, forgetting that by God's grace, myself and my wife, before we went to that place, we were household name. And what they will ask you is, if you are so good like that, why did your ministry fail? It didn't fail. We just decided we want to relocate. And God is not leading. If I start a church back in England today, I'll grow. But I will never go back to Forward Church. I will never. Because Forward Church is deeper than what we can see with the eyes. Forward Church is deeper until you get involved.
Until you get in there.
Yes, I prefer my itinerary work. So that was how I left the place. And I still help them when they need help.
Did you escape the case? Did you allow the police to handle it, or you just abandoned the case? You didn't take them to court?
The police were pressing me to take them to court and sue them.
Yeah, that's what happened
but
in a great country.
Yes, like but I said no.
You went to leave everything to God?
I said no.
The police saw it clearly that it was an assassination attempt.
Yes, I said no. They said no, this and that, we'll give you the support, we have the fund.
I said, police here that we advise you to drop it.
I said no.
So you wanted to just let God settle it?
Yes, and God did. Because after some time, something exploded, and the thing is me. See, there are some churches, the kind of prayer they think they are God. The kind of prayer they pray shows the type of members that attend that church.
The kind of prayer they pray,
yes,
shows the kind of members that attend the church.
Yes.
I can't believe this.
Yes.
Irú àdúrà tó ń gbà ló ń fa irú ìrìnà tó ń wá síbẹ̀.
Yes.
Àdúrà òdì, àdúrà ìṣubú.
You know, things happen. Each church has their own weaknesses or something like that. But there are some it's just too bad.
But the day they came after your life and they were shooting and everything, how do you feel? Did you feel that you were going to be killed that night when they were breaking that door, trying to come? Because the first time was like a warning. I knew
they should come in. My enemy is finished because it's only me. My wife is not there.
But you didn't have a gun or something to protect yourself?
Like I was not expecting them. And but I knew also that the police are very prompt.
Okay.
So by the time I called them, under 5-10 minutes, they are there. But before their arrival, they left. They left.
But you destroyed appearances and.
They did. Yes, they did not take anything. Even the offering and tithe that we have been keeping for weeks or something like that. They look at it, they left it there. They didn't steal any keyboard, they didn't steal anything. They only came from me.
So it was your life.
They only came from me. So if I use my life and spend my time in a place to serve there, and then I don't know.
Like how they say you spent like 10 years there, and the church
of course
have been so successful, and but before then you've been facing a lot of challenges. Maybe they wanted you to leave and you didn't allow them to steal. There was a pure remittance, the church budgeting was clean and all that.
You see, because if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Because the guy that was there is using that church as a collateral to do a lot of things. When you are the managing director of a company and you don't have a say to tell to your staff, that's a problem.
You cannot control them. You cannot discipline them.
When your staff begin to abuse you, there's a problem. When your staff begin to insult you, the accountant is a thief, he's a rogue, his pastor is more. Sir, they mess the whole thing up, and that's why the government, they so mess the whole thing up. To be candid, sir, to be honest with you, I don't know how you want to take this. Dr. Olukoya is not a money conscious person.
Why did he become so
I don't know.
I became confused.
I don't know. Those guys has overpowered him. I didn't know you were going to ask me this question, because it will go viral. And I know what I'm talking about. Those guys, they should be arrested and locked up. But they believe they can phone one Baba at Malaysia, one Baba at malaria, that will help them to pray. And they will be doing bad things, bad stuff, and they will say, Adura Lomaje. What kind of nonsense Adura is that? But I can't blame them. If I own a vision, sir, yes, I detect the tune. I give sharp instruction. These guys, they messed up. This guy messed up. I don't want to mention his name. He messed up. He sees himself. He sees. Oh, he's there now. He mentioned. He sees himself as Alpha and Omega.
When you now saw that the London Charity Commission took over the church, how did you feel afterward? When you
before I,
because the corruption became public
an epidemic or endemic.
Yes, and the government set in.
But let me tell you, the blame, they even conspired against Dr. Olukoya himself. Christ is my witness. They even let me now open the can. They even conspired against Dr. Sir, I don't know whosoever in that area, I know they conspire against Dr. Olukoya himself. The man doesn't even touch their money when it comes to. That's the only thing that I know, that I'm saying. But this guy, I don't know if their general overseer make a law, a rule, they will bend it. In my own Korokoro eyes like this, they are talking against their general overseer. They are insulting him. In my eyes, not that they say. You don't be too gentle like that. You can't do that to some other bishop or pastors. They will have fling you off. Sir, these guys, I don't know. They are the one who own MFM. It's not Dr. Olukoya who owns it.
They're in charge.
They're in charge. They own it. They own it.
So you want to say maybe Dr. Olukoya himself is a victim in his own system? Maybe he's in government, he's in power.
I'm telling you, if there is anything more than victim, these guys are terrorists. They are church terrorists. They are one year, they can buy a nation. They're just using the name of that church to make money. For that one, I know for sure. For that one, I know for sure. If I'm to talk, for that one, I know for sure.
maybe God took you there to see all this so that you can even help the leadership of the church. Because in most cases, people are too afraid, except one of them, a fantastic lady, Funke Ashekun, that came out and said some other things that are so very.
I didn't know that aspect of that. Yes, that was not exposed to me.
Yeah.
But the one that was exposed, the general overseer, I don't know the word, is weak. That's what I'm saying. He has allowed nonsense. As anointed the man is, he has allowed I don't know why those guys created fear in him. His words are not binding. His words are not law. He's too quiet. He's too.
Can we say G3?
If there's anything more than G3, if they want to lose their salvation, let them lose their salvation now. He was the one who caused it because of his style of leadership. He must be decisive. He must be decisive. And they've not even taken them away in any way. They just recycle them. Where people can just dip their hand into money and just do whatever they like, buy property today, pay money, and say the thing is not working, and they lose almost 200,000 or 300,000 pounds. Do whatever they like. I think I've been in ministry for a while.
And you should know about church budgeting and spiritual.
These guys use the name of that church to make money. They are simple, straightforward. That's it.
Dirty, shady deal. And putting fear into this. I want to question them.
And they will go and hire all these charlatan people who will help them to pray. And send your name all about. I challenge the guy. I challenge him. I gave them serious tough time. Times that number, they've sent me to the headquarters to go and defend myself. And I've been there. There was a time I worked with coaches. They are laughing at me at headquarters. I don't care.
Now that they've attacked you.
Yes.
Or crutches.
I don't care. I've never suffered spiritual attack in my life. That was the first time. My leg was almost being paralyzed. Shall you get? If it's my own church now, the church gone. I know, okay, fine. But it's someone else's church. So why do I want to die? I'll travel from London to Glasgow on 9 hours inside the bus.
9 hours and stretch.
9 hours. 9 hours.
Okay.
It's part of the sacrifice. And some bandits are there.
Puppet bandits, charlatans, spiritual maggots.
I just pray that God will
reform that place. Do you think that?
But until they have to get rid of them, if they don't get rid of them and just reshuffle them, they're wasting their time.
Do you think Dr. Olukoya, I'm saying you need special prayer and deliverance, and maybe you need somebody to help him out?
Based on the trend of
a lot of things now in the public. People are so just when people pressure us about this thing, they said you are the best pastor in Europe at that time, and that you brought a lot of reform to the church. Those spiritually, but they fought you. Based
on the number one, some doctrine has to change.
Some doctrine. We are back to doctrine.
Yes, some doctrine has to change. That's my insight there. See, when it comes to a word, yes, a Bible study, they so did it to the extent that such things should not be happening. But everything is not about deliverance. That you see fly is demon. You see somebody fat. You say some demon has brought atomic bomb.
Even you see flying near your water, you can't drink it again.
Yes.
Or you see a bird fly just playing on your balcony. It says the witches in the area that have come.
No. Because anything you keep focusing on 24/7 becomes part of your life, even though that thing is not there.
The fear is not there.
Yes. So some doctrinal issue needs to change. Number two, you see, Dr. DK himself, I mention his name with respect. I'm telling you the truth. The man must be decisive. The man, there's one thing to have to pastor a very large worldwide church. There's one thing to be very decisive and be determined that whatever happens. Yes, my words that I issue out to administer my church must be followed
to the letter.
Dr. DK, that is what messes him up. Why do you think I want to work with any general overseer? I saw so many general overseers there, but I decided to work with him to be honest and candid. He has not done me any evil, but the people that are working under him, sir, I saw, and it boils down to the fact that he has to build up his leadership style. Most so I say it. I was in a meeting where they are messing him up.
How did you feel?
I felt bad. Those silly called pastors, his anointing will judge them. Because they put him in the mess where he found himself. They put him in the mess. In the mess where he found himself. I don't know what was responsible for that. If I was him, I would sack every one of them. But that's the reason why Charity Commission was able to do what he did. And they even gang against him to take him out of the system, that he cannot be a chairman, he cannot be part of trust.
Church politics.
But it's the honor of his vision.
People are so afraid. In fact, when it happened that he now started using court cases to chase bloggers around, they said it's not even in tandem with the Bible. I mean, using police to gag people. I mean, people have expected him to be gentle. Look at Baba Adebola, very humble. No matter the level of criticism,
it takes correction.
You see him start changing the whole thing, start doing new things. I mean, I've never seen the honest, fantastic, dedicated, elderly Christian like Baba Adebola.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This character, we start using court cases.
It's because of those people that surround him, that gives him advice.
Bad advices, sir.
Bad advisors. There's one thing to be spiritually high and not to be streetwise.
Spiritually high and not to be streetwise.
Streetwise.
Jesus is a powerful answer. I've never had it before.
Yes. Sometimes it has to be combined together. Dr. DK Olukoya, I call your name with respect because I respect you so much. Because I have had relations with you. Now listen. You are dealing with armed robber pastor, bandits. I'm telling you the truth, sir. Armed robber pastor, where you have a vision, you cannot say anything. Their word is the final.
Maybe God is going to judge all these people.
God has to judge them. If not because of anything, because of that man's simplicity. Me, as Mr. Sabe, I saw with my eyes. I will never, because of judgment day, I will never. I saw with my eyes what happened. I saw with my eyes the way they treated this man. I saw, sir, I saw. They are thieves. He's not the one who stole the money. I saw. I was the one who tried to even help them with this charity commission thing with my friend. I saw. Eventually they prevail over him, not knowing that they want to scheme out of the system. He's not privy to everything. They lie to him. They give him lie report. They are using his name and the name of the church to make money. But probably he has learned his lesson now. I don't know. But Dr. Olukoya is too soft. It's too soft. It's too soft. He has to upgrade his leadership system, his leadership style. Otherwise, aside from that, the guy is fantastically well. All these things that happen, yes, he didn't have hands in them. It's the people that surround him. Only. They are going. Most of them are going to hell. Most of them are going to hell. Where he actually even fear to the extent that the wife cannot even preach. Quote me. I'm saying it now. I have a vision. My wife cannot say anything. A word. That's how he referred them. He honored them. Can't see the wife going anywhere or something like that, because those guys are just taking over everything.
They chanced her.
Yes.
Chanced the visionaire. So that means your own vision, you can become a prisoner of conscience.
He was a prisoner of conscience. So, I mean, I spent 10 years now. I challenged them to swear to take an oath by Almighty God. I was there when they're saying this nonsense thing about Dr. Olukoya. I stood up and I walked away. For the fact that the man is simple. Sir, MFM wouldn't have gone into this thing if Dr. Olukoya was strict. If Dr. Olukoya was strict. Whatever you hear from my mouth, yes, sir, is genuine. I won't lie.
But I'm shocked at the revelation of God. When people were telling us, we didn't believe it, and I didn't want to raise it with you when you were in London because of your emotional stand about the church and because of most of the things you have cried unto me about. I mean, I God that you love the church of God so much, and you can even despite you even love the church. They said that you are even calling us to beg us that we should leave Suleiman alone, we should allow him to go. I mean, a lot of people would have thought that Suleiman is inducing you, but look at it, you are just doing it honestly.
I didn't talk to him about
that the church should be healthy, you know. So when I said when you come to Lagos, to Nigeria, I will put it to you because a lot of people said you brought reform to that, especially in Scotland. And they told us how it happened.
I brought serious reform, yeah.
I want to kill you, and it was God that saved you. I didn't even know it even happened twice, because when they told us,
it's twice.
They said once that happened that they brought the helicopter, and that was the first time that even that the case is still with the Scotland police.
They say I have the case reference number, and they can open it up anytime. But if I do it again, will I go and nail Dr. Olukoya in court again and start making trouble or something like that? So I decided, let me allow it to go. If Dr. Olukoya has learned lessons from this, that church will be fantastic and do some reform of doctrinal issues. That church will be very, very fantastic.
You need to do doctrinal reform.
Yes.
Just like Kumuyi is doing now. And it took me back to many years ago when one pastor Ayema, is it Ayema in Ghana, snatched Oyedepo's church too. Can you relate those stories too?
Pastor Ajiman.
Ajiman. And he converted it to his name, changed the structure, ran away with the people. And I don't know if the case has even stopped the court now. They've been fighting the case for ages. And Oyedepo was shaken to his pants. Will you say that would have also happened? That's almost something that is reflecting your own situation now.
That was almost happening, but I don't know why.
This Ajiman was a Ghanaian, but they've been traveling to Ibadan, to Port Harcourt, to everywhere. But just a mistake that Oyedepo did a mistake, took him to Ghana. And they said, bring the money, because Oyedepo is in the business of always carrying the whole money. The moment they finish, bring it to Nigeria. Repatriate. The man just yari. He said, this structure, these people, they are Ghanaians. Ghana is not as rich as Nigeria. Why are you taking all our dollars again? And before you know it, there was a lot of legal abracadabra, and the church became its own church. Maybe that's why
I don't know.
Became gentle. And
it could be. I don't know, but I know they squeeze him out, and they squeeze the wife out.
That's Olukoya.
Yes, they squeeze the wife out. They squeezed both of them out. They squeeze them out.
I'm thinking they are spiritual. They should have seen it, and they should have, taken a hedge against it.
is well.
Honestly, this is fantastic. Now, on that of your experience in MFM, what are you going to advise Christian leaders? I mean, people that want to have branches. Look at someone like Chris Okutie now. He just have one branch in Oregon, Household of God. Maybe this is some of the things that he fears that he shouldn't have pastoral branches. But from what you've seen with your systemic near-death experience at MFM, how are you going to advise about church transfer, church budgeting, and spiritual growth for church leaders? I mean, if you are in the hall now, you have a microphone and you're going to talk to 1,000 emerging church leaders. What's going to be
for easy administration?
Yes, sir.
If some people establish branches based on they want to make money.